Hello, people. Good afternoon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So, based on what we discussed last video, we're going to take into joins in SQL. So, let's look at SQL joins. So, SQL joins are divided into four, as you can see on this image here. So we have join, full join, left join, right join. So for join, which can also be known as inner join, it's kind of joining tables, two tables together from left to right tables, combining them together. So the join behavior is that it takes in matching rows from the left table and matching rows from the right table. So whenever there is no matching rows from both table, those rows are being discarded automatically for inner join. So for left join, it takes in matching row from the left table, and then it's assigned null values to the rows that are not matching on the right table. So for inner join, you expect that you have missing rows. While for left join, you expect that you definitely have all the rows complete, but some rows will be having null values. While for full join, it takes in matching rows from the left table and right table, and then it's actually keep them together, whether they are not matching or not. Just like for inner join, the full join is like the total opposite of the inner join, right? It joins everything, but still keeps the non-matching rows together. Now for right join, it takes in the join is from the right to the left table, right? So the same behavior, but this time from the right table to the left table. That's taking matching rows from the right table, and then the ones that are unmatching on the left table are being assigned in null values. So the join operation is follows a normalization rule in SQL, whereby we need to have a common field name between two tables. So remember that we created a particular table here. The first table we created here is employee info table. So let's select from employee info and then select from employee salary. So let's run these two tables. So we can see that these are the two tables we created. Now, the ID here and the employee ID in the second table, which is employee salary table, they are the same thing, right? They are the same. Now, we added a new ID here and assigned null values. So let's go ahead to add, or let's say, let's go ahead to add another another value to employee information. So let's say insert into employee info values. So let's call this ID 10012, and then the first name is John, then John Daniel. So let's say we have this for full name, which is John Daniel. Sorry, Chris. And then we have jd@gmail.com. Then age to be 26. Oh, yeah, 26. So let's add this and run it here. First name, last name, full name, email. Okay. I think that's where the issue. We need to add a gender. So it has to be matching. That's why I have matching. So let's this is male. And then Let's go ahead and run it. Good. So then we can deselect this and then comment on this and then run this. Then we can see that we have a new employee, John Daniel here. So if you notice here that this ID doesn't align the alignment here. So how can we change this? It's very simple, right? What we need to do is we use the updates. So just come and use this updates keyword here. You say update table, right? Now, what's the table name? The table name is employee info. Now set ID, right, equal to, you set the ID to 10011, right? Where let's say we have full name. Yeah, let's use the full name. Full name is equal to James Benson. Set ID equal to this. Okay. Line 15 star 1, incorrect syntax near keyword table. Okay, let's. Okay. So let's go ahead and comment on this. So we can see that has been affected here. We have kind of changed it and updated it. So this is how you can change your table, your field name value here. So another thing I want us to do is that if you come here and then you select, sorry, these are some of the little cleaning I'm doing before performing the join operation so you can be able to understand the concept. So select from employee salary here. And then I want to drop last name, full name, email address. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this bit by bit, right? So I can say alter table, right? Table is employee salary, right? Then we can decide to drop column. Then the column name I want to drop is the last name. Then I can run this like this, right? So once I comment this and uncomment this and run this, you get to see that the last name is out of this. So let's comment this again and let's drop it once and see. So full name, comma, email. Awesome. So you can drop multiple columns at once, right? Instead of just doing them one after the other. So here you comment this and then uncomment this and voila, we are here. So now let's see, select from employee info. And let's just run this. And then you can see that we have two tables here, right? Then we want to perform join operation. The first join we want to do is the inner join, also known as join. So we can select here. Sorry. can select like from here, asterisk, from employee info. Then here we'll say inner join employee salary. And then let's go ahead and run this code. Sorry. On employee info dot id. Now you have to merge them on a particular field name that correlates each other, right? That matches each other. So this will be employee salary dot employee id. Okay, so you notice that from our employee info, we have two extra rows here, which is from sorry, I'm trying to explain this concept so you can see that we had this ID and this ID for James and John here. So what we notice with this inner join is that as soon as we run this code from line 1 to 5 here, we notice that we only have 10 ID. That's because on employee salary, we only have 1001 to 1010. So it took in the matching column it has to bring in the matching column from both the left and the right table together and merge them. So whenever there are no matching columns or matching rows, it is being discarded. That's the behavior of the inner join. So in a real life database scenario, whereby you have different tables in the same database, you would expect that the row numbers shouldn't be the same. I can have two tables. Table 1 should have 20 rows. Table 2 should have 40 rows. So using the inner join in this scenario, we eliminate some of the data that you might want to see. So inner join is being used when you don't want to see null values in your outputs. So if you don't see null values output, you use the inner join operator so that it takes in the matching rows from both the left table and the right table together. So now let's see for left join. Left join takes in the matching rows starting from the left table and then compares it to the right table. Yes, so you can see for the left join, the left table is employee info and all the IDs are there. So it means that whenever we don't have information in table 2, it is being placed as null values, as you can see here. From this ID here, from this ID 1011, which is not present in table 2, we have null values around all of this part here, null values. So that is how we use the left join. So for the right join, it takes it in from the right table and do the matching to the left table. So let's run this and see what happens. So it takes the right table, and the right table, it takes all the ID, and whenever they are not matching in the left table ID, they are being discarded. So you notice that the newly added 2 rows for employee ID in employee info were not being added when we use the right join, because we started from the right table and do the join to the left table. Now for full join, here, it takes in all matching rows from the left to the right. Just similar behavior as your left join, but it still accepts null values here. So that is how you begin to perform joins operation. And these are the different joins operation you have. The basic one you have in SQL. Others like right outer join, left outer join, they are still similar to left join and right join. So these are the basic SQL join that we have. Now, assuming we want to answer some specific analytical question using the join, the first thing is that we look into this table and we saw that for employee info here, we saw that we have ID, first name, last name, full name, email, gender, and age. And then for employee salary, we saw that we have just the employee ID, position, and salary. So let's say we have this can easily be gotten, right? But let's say we want to the CEO comes to you as a data analyst and said, "Hey man, I want to know the highest paid worker in my company, right? I want to know who is earning the highest salary." So you being a data analyst, the only thing you need to do is this. You just come here and say select. Now, he wants to just get the person name, right? Who is the highest paid worker in my office? So you can just decide to come and say you want to select the full name, right? Then you can say this as full name. And then here you want to get the salary, right? Now, remember, full name and salary are not present in both tables, right? The full name is in the first table, the salary is in the second table, right? Now, assuming your boss is interested in getting that person's position, right? So you can come and say position, position. Then from the first table is employee info, right? Now, here you perform a left join. The reason why you are doing a left join is because you want to keep both matching and unmatching rows together. If you are using an inner join here, it's going to discard some of the rows, and you want to get all the information together, whether that person is present in table 1 or table 2, right? We know that we can't get value for this ID in table 2 because we didn't allocate any salary to them yet, right? So we cannot say employee salary, right? Now you are joining them on, for this you are joining on the ID is equal to employee salary dot employee ID, right? Now, if you do this and run this, you get to see that it tells you each employee full name, position, and their salary. You see, these are simple analytical questions. Now, assuming your company is a very large company with a lot of employees, and you don't want your boss to start stressing to begin to look at, going through different employees' salary together, right? You just want him to, on a simple glance, get to see the highest paid. So what you need to do here is that you need to come here and say order by, right? So you are ordering by the salary in descending order, right? So once you put order by salary in descending order, automatically it shows your boss the highest paid person in the company. And this person is Samson Bamidele, position as a staff engineer, salary of 4,500 US dollars. So this is the highest paid employee for your company. And then you can go and say, hey boss, the highest paid employee we have is Samson Bamidele. He's a staff engineer with a salary of $4,500 per month. And you have been able to answer that question to your boss. Now, if you want to get the least person, you use ASC, right? By default, if you don't specify whether it's ASC or DSC, SQL automatically assign it to ascending order for you, right? But if you put the ASC, you still specify in ascending. So remember, James Benson and John Daniel don't have position and salary yet. So this person is $1,500, which is David Ajanaku, position as a sales manager, right? So this is how you answer simple analytical question, right? Now, your boss came and said, between the male and the female, who are earning more in this office? Like, who has the more salary? All right. Now, the only way to answer this question is that you come here and change this full name to gender, change full name to gender, right? And then salary. So for here, you want to put a sum of the salary. And you can now come here and say total salary, right? Now, the next thing you want to do here, you want to use the group by. So you want to group by. So whenever you use, remember in our previous tutorials, I say whenever you use an aggregation function always comes along with a group by statement beneath it, right? So group by gender, so that we don't get errors. So once you run this, you begin to see that, okay, the female are $7,400, while the male is $20,900, right? So it tells you that, yes, we have the male gender has the highest paid, right? So that's how you'll be able to answer that question and then give your boss the total salary, right? Now, there is another keyword I want to show. So another keyword I want to show is that we want to pull in data of people between a particular age range. Remember, I said something like, if I want to say select from employee info, and I run this here. Now we have this particular age range. Now let's say I want to pull out information of people between age 20 and 30, or let's say between age 24 and 30. Now there are different ways you can use this. Now there's a keyword in SQL called between, right? Between. So for between, we can just select from this, where age between, right? When age is between 24 and 30, like this. So once we run this, we see that we only have those employees age that are between 24 and 30. Now, another way you can do this using operator is very simple. So I can say select this where age is greater than or equal to 24 and age is less than or equal to 30, right? And once I run this like this, I still get the same value. So the between is used when you don't want to put these operators like this. You can use between or this way, and then you can get the same value, right? So that is that for this tutorial, trying to explain the basic SQL join. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more SQL queries and analytical questions. And if you have any suggestion on how I can do a content to help you learn more, you can put in the topic name on the comment section below, and I'll work on that in the subsequent videos. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.